Welcome back. Today we're diving into a huge shift that's happening right now in the real estate world. You might think you know how to find a house, but the game is changing in some really surprising ways. And it all revolves around two little words: coming soon.
So let me just ask you this. If you were going to start looking for a new home tomorrow, where would you go first? A big portal like Zillow, maybe a specific brokerage website, or would you just rely on your agent's private email list? Well, the answer is getting a lot more complicated, and that's exactly what we're going to break down.
And this whole conversation has been kicked into high gear because of a major announcement from one of the biggest brokerages out there. It's signaling, really, a new front in the battle for listings.
So here's the headline. eXp Realty just struck a deal to get its home listings onto major websites before they officially hit the wider market. This is what the industry calls pre-marketing syndication, and it's all about giving their sellers a serious head start.
And look, their new partners are some major players. Starting April 15th, if you're browsing homes.com, realtor.com, or ComeHome.com, you're going to start seeing eXp's Coming Soon properties. This gives these websites and you, the buyers using them, an early peek that other people just won't have yet.
So you gotta ask, why? What's the thinking behind this big push? Well, it's all about a fundamental shift in how to get the most exposure for sellers. And it's summed up perfectly by this phrase: clicks, not cliques.
The official line from eXp Realty's CEO, Leo Pereira, is all about leveling the playing field. He basically argues that if a home is being marketed to the public in any way, then every single consumer deserves a chance to see it. It's a vision for a much more open, much more efficient market.
But Damian Eales, the CEO of Realtor.com, he put it a little more bluntly, and I think he got right to the heart of it. Sellers want clicks, not cliques. This phrase just perfectly captures what they're going after, that old practice of keeping hot new listings in-house, in a private clique of agents and their favorite clients.
So for a homeowner, the takeaway here is pretty clear. This strategy is designed to give you a powerful edge. It lets you build up early excitement, attract a way bigger pool of buyers, and get what they call true price discovery. The whole idea is that more eyeballs right from the start can lead to a better sales price and a fairer process for everybody involved.
Okay, so we've covered the why, but how does this coming soon thing actually work behind the scenes? Let's break down the mechanics. The official industry term, if you want to get fancy, is pre-marketing syndication, but really all it means is sending a property listing to a few specific websites for a little preview period before it gets uploaded to the multiple listing service, or the MLS. And the MLS is that giant shared database that pretty much every real estate agent in the country relies on.
So the process works in 4 key steps. First, a seller and their agent decide, yep, let's do this. Second, the listing gets sent out to those partner websites. Third, it starts generating buzz and interest from potential buyers. And finally, and this part is absolutely critical, the whole thing has to follow the local MLS rules. So this isn't some Wild West loophole. It's a formal strategy that has to play by the book.
And hey, if you're thinking this is just a one-off move by eXp Realty, you've got to think again. This is actually part of a huge trend that is spreading like wildfire across the entire industry.
Just look at how quickly this all happened. In late February, Compass gets the ball rolling with a Redfin partnership. A few weeks later, Zillow jumps in with its own massive pre-market offering, and then literally the very next day, eXp makes the announcement we're talking about. The major players are all racing to get ahead in this new pre-market game.
But this brings up a really crucial question. Are all of these coming soon strategies actually the same? Is everybody playing the same game, with the same rules and the same goals? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is a definite no.
This table really breaks it down nicely. On one side, you've got the public syndication approach from folks like eXp and Zillow. Their goal is maximum public exposure as early as possible. But on the other side, you've got private listing networks, which are favored by brokerages like Compass and Howard Hanna. Their goal is totally different. It's about exclusivity, about generating leads internally first before the listing goes out to the whole world.
So, after all this industry back and forth, what does it actually mean for you? Let's talk about the real-world impact this is going to have on buyers and sellers.
Okay, if you're a seller, the benefit is pretty clear. You get to build demand, maybe even test out your pricing before you're officially on the market. But for buyers, well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, yes, you get an earlier peek at what's coming up. The catch? You might now need to be checking 5, 6, or even more different websites just to make sure you're actually seeing everything that's about to hit the market. So really, the crucial point here is that the starting line for selling a home has officially moved up. The whole battle to get your attention, whether you're a buyer or a seller, isn't starting when a for sale sign goes in the yard anymore. It's all starting in this new, very competitive coming soon phase.
And that leaves us with a big, final question for the future of real estate. Is this whole push for coming soon listings actually creating the truly open and transparent market that its supporters are promising? Or is it accidentally creating a more fragmented, more confusing world for buyers? It's a fascinating development and for sure one we'll all be watching very closely. Thanks for joining me.